Okay, in C, you oftentimes had to represent a string as an array of characters. If you wanted to represent a string programmatically, you had to make an array and it had to contain characters. And Java is a little bit different. Java actually has native built-in support for strings. So for example, if we take that string of characters, we can actually just say and instead of treating that as an array of primitives, we can actually treat it just like a normal object. And so now we can say, we can turn that array of characters into a nice string. And we don't have to worry about keeping track of all the individual characters. Now, this is not typical convention in Java. In fact, you will very rarely see that. What you will typically see is just ABC. Anytime you put quotation marks around something, that's going to indicate that it's a string. And there's another string trick. If you use the plus sign, you can concatenate strings together, and so that's another instance where you might see a string come up, but typically you will not see people calling no string simply because we have this implicit constructor. So one nice thing about strings being objects is that there's a plethora of methods that we can now employ on this string. For example, we can say my string dot to lowercase to uppercase, or even to trim. Trim removes all of the white space or any spaces around the string and just gives you the straight text. We can ask the string how long it is, and can even see that we can even get characters out of the string, so we can still retrieve the individual characters. And if we take a look inside of string, we can see that this is actually deep down inside. It's really just taking care of all of the details of having a character array so that we don't have to deal with them ourselves. So one other thing to note about strings, since it is an object, you do need to call dot equals on it to compare equality. Objects are very similar to pointers in the fact that if you say just equal, equal, so if we say if we say this is in fact going to print false because we're simply comparing the pointers, the memory locations of these two strings. However, if we truly want to see if these strings are equal, if we want to see that ABC equals ABC, we're going to call dot equals on it, and that's going to compare the actual characters.